Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Diana and I are happy to be with you today. And
Absolutely.
we just decided we were going to do a taped show for you. That way we could just enjoy our chit chat, and you can also enjoy Grizzly. He's so cute. And we haven't done a show together for a while, so we were missing out on that. And so we decided, yeah. And it's always a wonderful time of the year for us to do a show because of Yule that's coming up. And it's interesting that both Diana and I are going through medical procedures this very close to Christmas time this year. So it's wonderful that we have a few moments to just spend some time with you.
Well, and I think we're on a balanced distance between the solstice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm a couple days longer. I'm on the 18th, you're on the 23rd. The solstice is the 21st this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
very close. Yeah. Very close on it before and after. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and isn't it amazing that we're being given these dark days to go within and do the things that we need to do within ourselves?
Yeah. Yeah.
For this.
It really is. And for you, you're dealing with an awful lot of cold, wintry weather. Mm-hmm. And for me, we're dealing with a lot of the atmospheric river rain here. So
I was wondering, I was going to ask you because, of course, we've had 2 X-class flares that went off back to back. And then I was half listening to Stefan Burns this morning, and he was talking about another one that went off. So,
okay.
Just making sure that's not a tick.
Oh,
evidently it could be. No, it's not a tick. It's just something stuck on me from the dogs.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah, I did notice that. What was it? A G3 solar storm?
That's what they're predicting, but we can expect it to be much higher because, yes, that's what he said. It might just get higher than that because of this another X 1.1 flare that went off early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness sakes. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty much done with this.
I am so exhausted from it. Mm-hmm. This morning I had a headache. This is the first time I've had a headache from all of these, but I know it's got something to do with that.
I agree. I've got like a tension headache myself. It's not, first I thought it was sinus, but no, it's more in the temple area.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's where mine was.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody must love your brand new, or if maybe new to us, red glasses because they're so festive. I love them.
Thank you. You know, I haven't worn these very often. The pairs that I like to wear the most have bigger frames. Mm-hmm. They're rounder, but it's still daylight and it's festive. It's time for Christmas.
Festive. Very festive. I love it. I do love it.
Well, and I love your earrings.
Oh, I know. Aren't they crazy? And of course, they weren't very expensive, which is the best part of it, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't make them, though. I'm not that crafty, but they could be made very easily, I guess, with some of the ornament balls. We are going to talk today. We're going to let it flow, but we're going to talk today about ancient Yule rituals that the church tried to erase, which would be an interesting chat.
Yeah.
And Diana's going to talk, I think, about the solstice. Is that right? You're talking about the solstice. Yeah, and some other things.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm going to start out by, I got my Season of the Witch cards.
Oh, I got those. And
all right. So I pulled 3 cards. And I noticed something very fascinating, and that is that I've never been a fan of poinsettias. Yep, there you go. Oh, you got the Winter Tarot. I don't think I've seen that one. That's cool.
It is absolutely beautiful, Aley.
Wonderful, wonderful. So when I was growing up, I was never a fan of, I'm going to say how I used to say it, poinsettias, and that's not how you say it. All this time, it's a poinsettia. And so I pulled this card first, and I love it because it's a woman in front of a fireplace, and there's red lit candles and a wreath and so on. It says, cast the shadow, scream silence at them, dear witch. What lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauty. And that's what we always need to remember, that, you know, we may not think we look great out on the outside, although we're perfect the way we are, but inside we're truly beautiful. So there's that one.
That's one of my favorite cards.
Yes. I got feasting for the second card. Let us feast upon the nourishing and be thankful for thy feast. Nor here or there, yet everywhere it be. And I love it. And there's the pies and all the festive foods. This turkey here, although I usually eat lasagna for Christmas, but much easier. And then I got the last card I got made me really happy because it was bear medicine.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. And it says, there is no tomorrow without the healing of the past, for in stillness you shall find yourself right where you are. And I think that this is you and I right now, because we have to heal from our past, not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually.
Yes, because we're carrying so much. You know, the other thing about this is the Brahma cave is that third eye pituitary medulla. That is considered the Brahma cave in yoga.
Oh, it is. Okay.
And bear sits in the west for contemplation. So all of that ties together, all of these different cultures.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I love that. And that's what you had just mentioned in the beginning, that we're sitting here in the darkness a little bit, you know, the early part of the evening comes so fast, and we're sitting here in the darkness, but it gives us time to reflect and to move into the place that we need to go to in this healing.
While you were speaking, I drew cards, and I'm very excited about them. First, I got Father Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that a great painting?
Uh-huh.
And it says, oh, sorry. How did I get here? Lost, perhaps? No worries at all. Gather yourself and clear the frost from the ground. Still the lives in you, my dear. Still the lives in you, dear. And then, this is too exciting. I got the darkest hour.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is, and it is also the number 9 card, which.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a 9 year, so this is big.
Oh, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
There is a voice. There is a void in the darkness that swells in the shadow of the soul, swallowing the wickedness into the blackness of its wholeness.
Wow.
And we just got through Krampus was the 5th, St. Nicholas was the 6th. Mm-hmm. This is the Divine Feminine Day, the day of the Immaculate Conception.
Oh, okay.
Which I will come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
And then the last card that I got was Solstice.
There you go.
I thought I went in there and nope, I didn't. Those were the 3 that came to the top for the shuffle. So on it says, for the solstice, it says, all hail the cunning truth. And this is a big week astrologically of truth.
Okay.
In which it burns deep within the root. Rise above the ashes and claim the gods are awaiting your glory and your fame.
Wow.
So big. And
so
this
big.
being the day of the Divine Feminine, December 8th, it is the Immaculate Conception. Now, even a lot of Catholics don't understand that the Immaculate Conception is not about how Mary conceived Yeshua.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is, she was conceived without original sin.
Okay.
Now let's relate that to karma. Because the original sin is the karma that we bring with us when our soul repeats and we make our soul contract.
Correct. Yeah.
What did they say for power? You have sin on your soul. What did they say about it? You are born with it. You'll never get rid of it unless you da 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 da.
Yeah.
Well, they put her in a position by saying she was born without it. Therefore, she was the only worthy recipient of the seed of Yeshua.
Oh, wow. I did not know that story.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the story. And the other part is that Joachim and Anna were so elderly, conception was, not even heard of, and tried to make it like this was her only born child. Well, Anna had 3 marriages and had a daughter with each of them, all 3 named Mary.
Oh.
And was very wealthy on her own right. Yeah. And you're supposed to, in the Hebrew world, you're supposed to dedicate the firstborn, particularly from Solomon's temple in the days of Abraham, whatever, that you're supposed to dedicate your firstborn to the temple. Well, in this case, the firstborn is a female, and so she got dedicated to the temple. And she learned all the handicrafts and such of that nature.
Okay.
But dedicated to the way of religion, faith. And so when we just look at all of that, that's one of the stories that they tried to change.
They tried to change. You're right. You're absolutely right. As you were saying that, I remember when I took my class 25 years ago, 30 years ago, on the rise of Islam, we learned a lot about Muhammad and his first wife, Hadiha. I think that's how you say her name. She was older than him. She was a rich woman who had her own business. And so she married him. She was the first wife. And that's so unusual in that religion, because usually the women are subjugated. But she was elevated. And she was always elevated as being his first wife. So it's just interesting that there's a commonality there. Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. Another thing that speaking of Muhammad, there's James the Lesser and James the Greater that were in the apostles. And James the Greater is the brother of Christ, the brother of Yeshua.
Okay.
And those who followed James the Greater, who they threw off a rooftop to kill him and then stoned him, they became the followers of Muhammad 500 years later. That path took them, took all of their followers to Muhammad.
Okay.
But if you followed Peter, who too was sacrificed, hung upside down on the cross, but if you followed him, you became what was Catholic, what wasn't Catholic then, but what became Catholicism.
What became Catholic, right?
Right. And there's like a 500-year difference between Muhammad and Christ.
Oh. Yeah, and Buddha was in there as well in that whole time. Yeah. The three of them really were
lost years studying Buddha in the temples.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I really love that because and that's why I resonate really well with the Unity Church, or the church that just believes that everything is related. It's all related, and there is no, they even have quotes from Edison and Young and a lot of other people hanging from the walls of their churches. So there's great wisdom from so many, and we're all the same, really.
Right. So, you mentioned scientists and doctors who know that there's a higher power. They're not out to disprove that there is, because what's driving us? It's all math related, though. We can answer every question through.
I know, and I'm not the math whiz here, but I have to tell you, the fact that you brought Father Christmas up, my mother grew up with Father Christmas, never Santa Claus. It was Father Christmas, and one year she found a little. It was an ornament, but it was very heavy, so she used it like just as a little thing on the mantle. But it was a Father Christmas. And it said 1920 on it, because they had it for different time, and that was the year she was born. And I still have that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. There's so many bells, Nicholas, Santa Claus, you know, and in popular, oh gosh, it's Belsnickel in German, and now I've just drew a blank on the Polish word for Santa. I can't remember. I mean, it'll come to me.
Well, and then you've got the Dutch with the putting in the Dutch shoes, and
Yep. Our clogs are supposed to go out. We had to put our shoes out, and we would put straw and carrots for the deer. And in the morning, we'd have pennies and oranges and walnuts in the shell.
Yeah. And hopefully no coal. No coal.
Right. And I miss being able to walk into the grocery store and see a giant, and you just scoop up as many pounds of that as you want.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And you crack them all year long.
Do you know by any chance why they put cloves in oranges? Is it just to decorate them?
No, it's because during the times of plague and pestilence, they believed that it was what you smelled that got you sick. So those pomidors were under their noses to kill germs, which they didn't know a thing about, but to kill the odor. So you didn't breathe that other odor. But the truth of the matter is, cloves do kill germs. And what does oranges do? Give you vitamin C.
That's true. No scurvy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So those weren't the only things they used, but that was pomidors all over the place to protect against just the odors.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Wow. That's wonderful. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the rituals that the church tried to erase, and then I want you to come in and speak about what you're interested in. We'll go back and forth if that's
okay.
If that's
sure.
the plan. I don't want to command any of the whole thing, because I want, and I'll bring in your picture when you tell me to.
Sure.
So it says that when we go further back in history, that the murkier the waters get, because and I remember last night I was watching a show about the Roman Empire, and they were saying this one said this and did that and this and that, and I'm thinking, how did they know that? I often wonder, and I know there are books written and there are papers written, but it still just throws me for a while. But it says, of course, for our ancestors, the sky was the ultimate clock and calendar. And who would know better than that but you, because you're the astrologer. And so it would be great after I finish this if you tell us a little bit about what you saw that is regarding this time period. That would be great.
Okay.
And it says earlier in the world, it was a time of deep anxiety, but also of hope. And over the northern hemisphere, ancient people held vigil over the long darkness. And I can only imagine that, especially like even where you live in the east side of our country, it gets really dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And it stays that way for a long time. And if you're living outside or you don't have, electricity, which they didn't have, you spend an awful lot of time in the darkness. And so they said that there is not one single unified account of a first Yule ritual, but many shared a common practice, which is staying awake through the night of the solstice, which I didn't know. Okay. It wasn't just a party, it was spiritual duty. It's thought they gathered to honor the sun's struggle and to watch with bated breath for that first fragile sliver of a dawn, a sign that the sun was not defeated but reborn. This act of witnessing the return was a testament to the cycle of life and the promise of the light's return. So I'm going to open you up to talk about that if you want. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You're right. It is a spiritual. I mean, all of our Stonehenge and the circle in Germany and the serpent's tail is a burial mound that's here in Ohio. But isn't it amazing how all of these things coincide with each other? And I am sure that it has to do with the ley lines, because ley ley lines on this side of the earth that connect and intersect with ley lines in
Sure.
holy places, holy
Mhm.
places, holy places, till you get to Stonehenge, till you get to the pyramids in Giza. It is a design that
Mhm.
a higher source had to have a hand in.
Sure.
Whether that higher source is just the frequency and vibration, the music and the light, the color, or an actual being,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So Chronos, Saturn,
Mhm.
is the timekeeper.
Right.
And we look at solstices as the shortest and the longest, right?
Mhm.
So that was done by keeping time with Saturn and watching where he was going, because in those days that was as far as they could see.
Right. And they
Saturn,
had no idea what was on the other side.
no, right?
Yeah.
And Saturn
Right.
was the last planet that could be seen.
Mhm.
And so in that, they just followed what Saturn did. And so now if you bring that picture up,
Okay.
this is the Nebra Sky Disc. And I absolutely, one day I was just thumbing around looking for things on the Pleiades, and this came up in the feed. And I
Uh-huh.
was mesmerized by it because I'm struck by the color. I love that
Yes.
vanilla pudding white, yellow,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that patina green of the copper, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, this disc is a handheld device for determining the solstice and also for the equinoxes. It's made out of bronze with a diagram of the stars, the sun, and the moon. And
Mhm.
then it is embossed in gold, and it is dated from 1600 BC. It
Oh,
was
wow.
discovered in a hilltop near Middleburg, which
Uh-huh.
is just 25 kilometers away from the location of the Goseck Circle in Germany. And that circle was one of these Stonehenge type places to go and watch for the solstice, for the
Mhm.
changes in the sun, as it would
Oh,
come through
okay.
a certain crack at certain times of the year. And of course, our rotation has changed in our balance and our north node,
Mhm.
south, North Pole, South Pole, all of that changes. But what they didn't know back then, that was a cyclical kind of a thing, that the
Mhm.
earth does this normally.
Right.
Thinking way
Wow.
back then, the earth was still in the early stages of just getting out of that weeble wobble that was going on,
Uh-huh.
that
Okay.
finally separated the continents and did all of that.
Mhm.
So keeping track of the solstices is something that's gone on for eternity. Now,
Mhm.
you spoke about the darkest night, and
Mhm.
even if you lived in, even today, if you live in a climate where it is warm, there is still a change.
Right.
It is
Right.
still cooler. The
It
days
is.
are still shorter.
Uh-huh.
It is still different. And
Mhm.
what I akin this to is back in ancient times, when everything was innovative, primitive, but innovative, just as today,
Mhm.
they appreciated the winter.
Sure.
Those shorter days were when you did your homespun, when you took care of all of the things that you had gathered that needed to be made into crafts, when you built the things that you needed to build, when
Right.
you went within, when you spent more time around the hearth and got to familiar with the rest of the family, rather than
Sure.
being out in the
Yeah.
field having to get
Sure.
everything done quickly, because we've got this growing season and we're watching the sun here at Stonehenge or all of these other little places all over the world. Lake Michigan has a Stonehenge of its own that is
Oh,
now underneath Lake Michigan. It's right off of Grand Traverse Bay.
okay.
And there's so many places, especially in the South.
There's a
where-
place in New Hampshire my
and-
friend's family owned and still owns,
There
called
you go.
American Stonehenge.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Canada,
Yeah.
all over,
Yeah.
all over. So
Mhm.
these practices are more universal, worldwide than we think. And
Then we think, yeah. Mhm.
we have to understand that history is wrong in saying Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Oh, I know.
Because Leif Erikson was here long before that. But
Uh-huh.
they were adventurous, and
Yeah.
they came and went between each other long before
Sure.
history. And
Absolutely.
if we go back to that frozen Bering Strait
Mhm.
and look at the bone structure of Native Americans and Asians and how
Mhm.
similar they are,
Right.
and sometimes you can't tell what race anybody is.
That's very true. And
You know?
especially when people also now mingle interculturally and get married and have children and such.
And
Yeah.
isn't that beautiful? And
Mhm.
I believe that this also came from all of that intermingling back then. You
Sure.
know, that
Yeah,
it
I
was
agree. Yeah.
they not only came down through Canada, but they went eastward through Canada as well. And
Uh-huh.
that somehow in between, everybody met in the middle on this side, the same with
Mhm.
the other. And then we can relate all of that to the Hopi if we want to stay on
That's
this
true. That's
explanation,
right.
because
Yeah.
the Hopi prophecy puts into play all of this,
Right.
all of this through the great frozen eras, the two
Uh-huh.
great frozen eras.
I want to make an observation here, and it's kind of silly. I first thought when I saw this, as you were talking about it, that it looked like a happy face with winking at us.
Yes.
And then I got into the fact that, remember, in the 70s when the happy face was brought back to us, and
Exactly.
it really is interesting that it's like I'm looking at it and I'm seeing something silly out of it, but at the same time, that's a universal smiley face in a way. Yeah.
I think that's when it was, it doesn't say in this book when it was dug up, but in the thing that I found online, I think it was dug up in 1977.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah,
Really?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. No.
talking.
Wow.
But you're exactly right. And that little cluster in the center where there's
Mhm.
6 and then 1 in the middle, that's the
Yeah.
Palladium.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What
That's
is missing is Maldek, the 8th one.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Is that right? Yeah,
Maldek.
because there's 7 stars of Pallades and there were 8.
Okay.
Or,
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't come with my brain wrapped around the Pallades today.
That's all right. So the next section I have is Echoes in the Evergreens, and that is why we bring evergreen trees into our house and decorate with lights. And I love this because it says, this is one of the most visible echoes of our pagan past. In the dead of winter, when other trees stood like skeletons, evergreens like pine and fir and holly were powerful symbols of endurance during the winter and eternal life. They were a living promise that life persisted even in the winter's deadly grip, which I love that. And of course, mistletoe was held in high reverence. And they believed that it grew on sacred oak trees. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the Druids would harvest it in a golden sickle in a holy ritual, hang it over the doorway for protection and blessing, not necessarily for holiday kisses, but, you know. And I love the battle between the Holly King representing winter and an Oak King representing summer. So some of that, of course, was stifled by the churches because it's interesting that most of our Christmas time rituals are all pagan, that were just adopted by that. We've talked about that before in another show, but yeah.
That's true. And
yeah,
that's one of my favorite things too, is the Holly King to the Oak King. And
Right.
if you look at the trees, the oak is the last. I mean, he clings to his leaves for so long. And
Mhm.
it isn't until he gets the little sprout that those leaves will all fall off.
Okay.
So here is the battle at solstice, right? The
Mhm.
Holly King is working on blooming all through autumn and getting his red berries and his prickly leaves and stiffness, and I'm the king.
Endurance. Yeah.
I'm the king. And then
Uh-huh.
and then he begins
Mhm.
to freeze
Yes.
while the sun is still able to penetrate the top of a tree. The
Mhm.
Holly King is like still covered in so much foliage that he's preventing so much of that getting into the sap itself,
Right.
even though
Right.
it's an evergreen, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
do. I do. Yeah.
so some of the Celtic traditions on that was to mark it by the festival of Yule,
Mhm.
the time of feasting, like the card you pull, and
Mhm.
the Yule log also was burned, symbolizing the return of the sun.
Mhm. Mhm. And that was the way to, I'm wondering if they related that to the sunlight. That's why they burnt the log. Is it because they had to go to an artificial type of sun, you think?
Yes. And
Yeah. Oh,
quite
okay.
often what they would do is just everybody would cut down a tree and
Yeah.
just keep pushing that tree into their fireplace. So the
Right.
door would be open. It was a night of merriment, and it was
Yep.
also a night of holiness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ritual.
Ritual. Yeah.
All of those things were tied together. The feasting themselves, you know, it is eating away the bad things of last year, just like the sin eaters when there would be a
Okay.
death.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And
Okay.
then you bring
Mhm.
out other things to eat as the night passes
Right.
for the bringing in of the new, the sweets.
I love that. And then it says here that the fire was thought to protect the house from malevolent spirits, and its ashes were scattered in the fields to ensure a fertile harvest. I love that. I had no idea. Yeah.
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 The ashes, everything served a purpose,
It does. Yeah.
And you use it to make soap.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That's
They were
amazing.
very, very smart people.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, I think that's marvelous. Um, so you want to talk a little bit more about some of the solstice traditions, or is there somewhere else you want to go with
Well,
this?
winter solstice in Rome, it was
Mhm.
commemorated with Saturn,
Mhm.
the Natalia.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And so it was dancing, frolicking, and debauchery,
Yeah. I knew there
Roman
was some
way.
debauchery in there. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and gift giving, and
Okay. There's where that comes from then.
that's where that really comes from. Even though the church has said we only give gifts because the three wise men brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm Polish. We celebrate Little Christmas. Little Christmas is actually Orthodox Christmas in Byzantine and Greek and
Okay.
Russian churches, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
In Orthodox Catholic churches. And
Mhm.
so that is the bigger day than Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. That's
It's
good.
12. It's a 12-day celebration, no matter how you look at it, because solstice
Mhm.
was celebrated for that amount of time also. Even
Right.
though the day starts to get longer a minute at a day, you don't notice it until February,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep.
maybe
Wow.
the end of January.
Yeah, because it's so slow. Even in the with the darkness, it seems to come faster, but we're busier. I don't know. I
Oh,
didn't notice it as much. Yeah.
well, this is the problem that we have with this life in these times, because they want it to be summer daylight 24/7, 364 or
Mhm.
365, whichever year it is.
Yeah.
And in that, it is so wrong. The
Uh-huh.
body's natural rhythm needs a break.
Sure. Yep. It does.
And
Yep.
so think about yourself. You can find your past lives within you by how you behave with certain seasons.
Never thought of it that way.
And
Yeah.
I love winter. I love the dark days. I love gray days even in the summer because I just get more energy.
Okay.
I'm more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm not doing
Right.
things the other way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's something that turns on inside of me. And I'm certain that my history goes back to the semis in Russia, the deer keeper, the
Oh.
reindeer, where the female deer have horns as well as the male.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're just little, and that's where Santa comes from because
Sure.
he's the Bell's nickel.
I know. That's so cute. I love that. And that might be also why when we've talked before, and you've talked about the deer that come during other pagan ceremony times. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's beautiful.
Yulena the Trods.
Uh-huh.
She's a very important winter.
That's right.
Baptist.
Yeah. I couldn't think of that name, but that's it. That's it. So I have here holly's red berries could symbolize the blood of Christ. The modern Santa Claus is a complex figure. The British Father Christmas in 19th century American poems, his image carries a faint echo of the old white-bearded Yule god, Odin.
Yes. Yes.
So Odin is the one that really was like the first Santa Claus representation then. Okay.
Right. And Odin always had that winter look about him.
Yes, definitely. Yep. Yep. Very definitely. He looks European.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he does. That's really cool. So it says that the traditions connect us to an ancient, wilder spirit of winter that survived against all odds. And it reminds us our roots run deeper than we might imagine. And so that you just pretty much verified that you feel where you've been before because these roots are so deep. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely. I even feel that I was part of walking across the Bering Straits.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I am that happy with winter.
Uh-huh.
It's so weird. I think now, maybe my body's telling me something because I have to avoid the sun because of the lupus, but it goes deeper than that. It's not just this lifetime. It goes much deeper than that. It's like, this is home to me.
Yeah.
Where it's supposed to be.
That's fascinating to me. I wonder too, I know there has been some discrepancy about what season that Jesus was born. And of course, he was born in the Middle East. So, you have different seasons then. But a lot of people have said he was born actually like in June or July. I've heard that. Yeah.
They have also placed him as definitely not a Capricorn. More likely an Aries or a Pisces. But if he was born in the Middle East, he would have been using Vedic astrology anyway.
That's true. That's very true. Yes, I love that.
Because it was a flat pancake back in those days.
It was a flat pancake. Definitely. So tell us about what this truth is that is coming in astrologically.
Oh, Wednesday. Look for the truth on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
My gosh, yes. Okay, so Mercury just stationed to go direct, or is on the 17th. Wait, I've got my cheat sheet right here. I can tell you in a second the exact dates. There's a lot going on that happens.
Oh, I believe that. So that would be. It sounds like that's the 11th because we're doing this on the 9th of December. So no, it's the 8th.
Today's
so it's the 10th.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes,
That's
be
okay.
The 10th.
No, not at all. So today on the 8th, Mars is squaring Saturn. Now, this is an ouchie day. Very ouchie day.
Okay.
Frustrations are coming because Mars wants to take action and Saturn is saying, but you can't. You got to do it by the rules.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, a couple of
Yep.
people lost their job today.
Sure. You're right. Yep.
And then on the 10th, Neptune stations direct.
Okay.
So this is big because now he is going to be in position to break apart the illusion. Where is he going? He is going into the fire sign of Aries, and he is not going. He'll get there in February, but he is not going back into Pisces in our lifetime.
Okay.
All right.
And of course, Aries being a fire sign and
the first sign of the zodiac that is all about
right. But he's also Mars, right? He's Mars.
No, Neptune in Pisces.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Saturn is going in with him. This is the beauty.
Oh boy.
This is the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we're going to see the fusion. When you make a brick, you put moisture to the dirt and then you fire it.
Right.
Now we're going to see the fusion of foundations.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Wow.
So things are going to start to be able to take shape for us. And then also on the 10th, that's when Mercury will be opposite Uranus. Well, that's Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Mercury and Uranus, they're like, you got to stand in the truth. And here's the truth.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Wow. Yep.
And Uranus is not going to pussyfoot around because Uranus is out there in Taurus.
Okay.
Getting ready to go into Gemini, where Mercury has rulership.
Right. Right.
So
wow. Uh-huh.
He's and the fact that he's in Taurus and Mercury is still in Scorpio, they are in a position to be opposite each other because Mercury is getting ready to go into Sagittarius. Remember, he's been in retrograde. Now he's getting ready to go back into Sagittarius.
Forward. Right.
And Uranus is going to go into Gemini. So my belief is an opposition is nothing but a conjunction at a distance, getting things right, adjusting the quad, adjusting the yods, adjusting the quincunxes. This is important because this energy between Uranus and Mercury is going to continue on.
Okay. So it's the beginning of the revelation of the truth coming out.
It's the beginning of the revelation. And then, so Wednesday, we can, that kind of an opposition on Wednesday, we can expect, this is going to be like 29 degrees and 22 minutes. No, sorry. I'll tell you, 28 degrees and 39 minutes.
Which is very powerful.
Yes. Very powerful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very powerful. Wow. So I just love it.
Yeah. And then we've been waiting for it. We surely have been. Yeah.
We certainly have been. On the 11th, Mercury is going to be trining Neptune. Look at the Epstein files coming out. Mm-hmm. Look at Wednesday for that.
Okay.
And then also on the 11th, we have Mercury stationing to go into Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. And so, he enters it that day. So in that, we have all of this. Now, the truth has got to come out. We are going forward from here. No more going back to this baloney. We're all exhausted from it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
horrible. Yeah.
And neither side wants us to be comfortable with being human beings and enjoying ourselves and having Christmas. And what is the problem? Why do we have to have this? We're so tired, so exhausted, so full of PSD or PSD, psychic abilities.
Really? Well, it's interesting too, because I think it was over the weekend, or maybe it was Friday, that there was another investigation coming out with the president and Elon and Bill Gates being involved in another child ring.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. That's why
Yeah.
That's why this is the way it is.
Yeah.
Ahaba got stepped down today.
Oh,
If
she
you
did.
heard.
I
That
haven't
was
heard
the news of the day.
Well, the judge said, why is this other girl, Lindsay Halligan, why are you still putting her name on things? I already told you she's illegitimate, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they put Ahaba in with, what's her name?
Jean Pirro.
No, she's been
No.
elevated to that girl who rides on the horse.
Oh, Nome. Christy Nome.
Yeah, they made her consultant. They made
And he's planning on making her, because he's getting rid of her, Christy Nome, very soon. Yeah.
well,
Yeah, there's a lot going on that behind the scenes that we're not hearing about. Yeah. Wow.
and SNAP went through like $60 billion is going to be released for SNAP recipients.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, the court said, screw you.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
So those are some good things that came out today, but
yeah.
those are ouchy corners of our minds, right?
Yeah.
Those are things that we're fighting for.
That's right. That's
Even
right.
if we're not recipients of the necessities, we
know someone who is.
Right.
Yes. Right. Yep. And always want, the thing is that I have a dear friend who works in the hotel motel industry, young man in his 40s, and he was working 36 hours a week because he has some kind of a like lupus or some kind of a thing that he can't work longer than that. But he decided he was going to work longer than that because he wanted to get some bills paid. And so he asked for, like 40 hours. So he wore himself out, and then they took away his SNAP and his housing benefit because he made too much money that month.
They did that to my brother too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. There's no right way for this to work for people.
They like to lock you in poverty.
They do. Yes.
And then you're dependent on it because we give it to you. Now we're going to take it away.
Right.
Go find a job, and there's no jobs.
There's no jobs. That's right. So, yeah. So hopefully some things will break open, and we will, begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And, it couldn't be any better than for it to happen at this season, because all of us need a miracle,
Right.
So, yeah.
So getting back to Yule for a minute, I have a great big, it's not great big. It's about close to 3 feet long. And it is a big limb off of a tree that had fallen to the ground. But the beauty of this is woodpeckers had attacked it. And there's 3 holes in it that are big enough to hold the big fat colonial candles.
Oh, really? How
and
wonderful.
That is my Yule log. So I decorate it up and I burn those candles for Yule. So I don't have it all done up yet, or I'd show you a picture of it. But
but that's wonderful. I just love that. It's so nice. Wow.
Yeah.
I have maybe you could, do you know anything about the traditional Lorica of St. Patrick? Do you know anything about that? For Yule? It says here there's a paganized version of the traditional Lorica of St. Patrick. It's referred to as a breastplate, a sort of word armor, and a petition for protection on winter solstice. Have you heard of this before?
No, I've never heard.
Yeah, so I love this. I just want to read the words that they gave, because I love sharing some of those things. It says here, you could use this as a mantra through the winter, but it says, and I got it out of this book. So if you're wanting it, it's on page, just so you know, it's on page 81. If you want to later look at it. It says, I arise today through the strength of the heavens, light of the sun, splendor of fire, clarity of ice, speed of the wind, depth of the snow, stability of the earth, firmness of the rock, the light has returned. I thought that was beautiful. Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then there's Bridget's flame too, which is another one of the saints that wasn't a saint that became a Catholic thing.
Because we have to legitimize them away from the pagans, you know.
Exactly.
Yep.
We got to celebrate Marilou with the Welsh. They dressed up the skull of a horse, and decorated all crazy, and then just go walk around and drink wassail at everybody's house.
Wow, that is so fun.
Comes around January 6th.
Yes, which is the Feast of the Epiphany, right?
That's right.
On January 6th. Okay. It's
There
too
we
bad we
go.
have another connotation of that now. But
isn't it? You know, I mean, it's all tied together.
Yeah.
They couldn't convert the pagans without tying those festivals in.
That's true.
Because those festivals are dyed in the wool, just like our 4th of July is dyed in the wool now.
Dyed in the wool. Yeah. So if you were recommending what people might be able to do that would be powerful to do for the solstice, what would you say? What would you say to them?
Okay, I would say go to your kitchen cupboard and get out your favorite herbs and spices. Don't forget the ginger and the cinnamon. Definitely blow the cinnamon in the front door and out the back door to get rid of the old.
Right.
And then put a pile of them together. Another thing I would do, and it is just out of my reach, it's on the stairs. I have a jar, and I was going to crack it open, and I missed the date, so I said, well, that's crazy to do it now anyways. I'll just do it solstice. In this jar, I have taken my witch's black salt. Now, black salt is something you can make all year long with the ashes from your sage bundles and incense sticks and a hearth if you use it. Use some salt, any kind of salt that you want. Put nails and thumbtacks and things in it that would be protective of you. Anything that is protective. Cloves, because they ward off germs, but they also ward off evil spirit. And so put together a melange of that. Do some hot cider with it, and don't even be afraid to throw a hot pepper in there, right?
Okay.
And then give it that spice. If you're a drinker, go ahead and add your brandy or your rum or whatever you want to put. But take all of these things and compile yourself a letter of what you want to get rid of from this year and what you want to take with you the next year. Then you put all of these things together into a jar. Mine is an old Clausen jar. And you seal it with wax. Okay. So you drip a candle all around it, and I wish I could reach it because it's dripped down the side of the jar, and inside is my note, and my note is tied in a bundle. Okay. With a nice ribbon, and that is going to get burned on solstice. Now, if the weather doesn't allow me to burn outside, I will use my cauldron and just burn in the dog pen. Right. And throw all that stuff in there together with some pine cones. And any juniper berries that are dried out, any fronds, any like I have mistletoe that I purchase off of Etsy. You can get all of these things off of Etsy. Sure. Save it from year to year, and then when it is dried, I burn it the next year. I see. Another fascinating thing about mistletoe is it is used in cancer treatments now. Really? Had no idea. And in Ogum, it is all heal. Okay. And all heal is that as well as heather. Okay. So mistletoe and heather are held in the same high esteem in one of the major plants, major kings. Wow. Okay. And so those things all have meaning. Yeah. Any time that you've had the spice, the herb, thyme, oregano, marjoram, anything that you have grown and you have hung by a doorway for protection, take it down. It's time to eat
Time
it
to
or burn it.
Okay.
Right? It's time to
And then
take
you'll
that.
be doing another one for the next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
get you. Okay.
And that protection will still be in the house because you are filling it with the smoke.
Sure.
Or you are filling it with the energy, however you do it. So those are some of the things that I will do.
Uh-huh.
And I have 2 cauldrons, but I have a big one that I'll put out in the dog pen that I'll use.
Wow.
Because I can
I love those ideas. That's wonderful. That is one. You know what I have also that I find for me is I get the potpourri for the winter that has the oranges in it and probably cranberries and things like that. I love the smell of that in my house with cinnamon and all those lovely smells.
Yeah.
It just brings me joy. Yeah.
Lots and lots of it. And lots of it. I know. And just burning, like you can boil cinnamon, cloves, and orange peels on the stove and get that aroma.
You can. It's not expensive. You're right.
Right. No. You can get it right out of your kitchen.
You can. You can.
And eat eat it too.
That's true. As Diana also makes her own salves, and she's amazing with what she does. Yeah, she really is. So
yeah, I'm going to make arnica and comfrey for solstice. That is, fingers crossed, I'm up and moving.
Right. We understand. We understand. Yeah.
You know, you have to get up and move with this.
Yeah, you do.
I've been getting up and moving with this pain anyway. They say there's going to be pain. Well, you know, when these X-flares go off, it's like a 15 anyway. So probably can't be much worse than that.
Yeah, it's just making up your mind that you know that it's going to get better eventually. Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty about outpatient. Yours is outpatient also, right? You go home to your germs, your your you, and you just
your bed.
Take care, right? And you're more inclined to get up and move when you're at home.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can just mosey around your home, and that's wonderful. Well, everyone, we probably could go on for 2 or 3 more hours, but we're going to leave it. We're going to drop it here. And we hope you enjoyed our discussion. And of course, there's so much more to be said and done, but we hope you have a beautiful winter solstice on December 21st this year, is it? Okay. And also a wonderful Yule, which comes right after the solstice. Or it would be Christmas in some people's world. Yeah, they're tied together.
The celebrations. And you can celebrate Yule. Consider it the season of Yule until we get into Imbolc.
There you go.
February.
That's nice to know. So I can use my cards all along?
Yes.
Oh, my. That's perfect.
Right? This deck is fabulous. If anybody is really into tarot, this is a great deck.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Diana. And of course, speedy healing to you through this procedure. And I'll say the same for myself. Anybody that would love to send Reiki to either one of us, we will take it. Yeah,
we'll take it.
Mine's a kidney stone, everybody, just so you know. And I've had them before. And this time they got to go in and take it out. So I'll be okay. I don't want to be pissed off anymore. That's when you get kidney stones.
That's right. I'm done with that.
Done with that. Done with that.
We're going to all be possums now. We're going to sidle up and spit on you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Diana, as always, my dear. Love you.
I love you, Aley.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.